mean, here we are. Jesuit is making quite a bit of a comeback here. As we see, it was a 10-2 half, so Jesuit winning those first 3 rounds is really massive. We'll see a Valorant that let's see if they can
start to this half already on the attack side, especially. So
we can see Nutrier getting that first cut onto Chase. That is a massive pick, like over to the A site. I mean, we can see like them abandoning the A site here. And Jesuit trying to get onto the B site as fast as they can.
And we're gonna see a couple
Spike down B.
Other side of this.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, Nutrien now getting a huge player opportunity. There's the smoke still covering this angle, but
Flash out.
He's going down, looking to shut down.
Unfortunately, Koi isn't a 1v3. Let's see if we can make it happen.
Thrifty.
Situation. Getting blinded.
I don't have to pack heavy.
Shutting
His
that
arms are
round
heavy enough.
down. That is a massive thrifty out of Nutrier. Shutting down the momentum for Jesuit.
Really nice to see right off the bat at this point. Economy in full swing for the defenders now that they've got rifles fully up and running. And they're going to be working on that momentum that they got off the last round. Finally stopping that bleeding that they've seen. They're still in a confident spot coming off of the first half, and they're going to keep riding that pace that they've already set.
I mean, getting into this next round here, we're seeing Jesuit taking a little bit over to this A site here. Not trying to spread out the map anymore, just seeing what they can do, playing a slow round and just looking for a pick. As we see Kenny here just slowly playing around this B main position. It doesn't look like Nutrier is going to give any positions. They don't want to peek out. They don't want to try to give anything. Smokes will be going down here for like Nutrier, seeing that they have a read onto this A main position and just...
That's a huge call out that we get to see right there. Both those smokes are going to cost so much time to be wasted for Jesuit High School. They are opting to stay here and just try and stick out the timer on smokes, but that is going to be extremely costly as there's still no picks off of either team, and they have just fully invested in this A side push. No attempt for a flank coming out from the defense from B side, but I think at this point they're realizing the fire is going to have to be coming from here. First pick coming out for NT.
Massive showstopper from Chase here. A big entry, but quickly traded out by 1-up. And Jetstream getting 2 massive kills in the A main site. Bomb is down. It's kind of looking like an impossible 1v4.
Huge stuff from Jetstream, reacting so quickly and finding that opportunity to refrag for their teammate. And with the jig fully up, Kenny finds one. Probably not going to be impactful, though, with 3 players still peeking this angle. There is a little bit of movement seen.
Still looking to get this one. Not giving up. 1v3. Just can't find it.
Just barely missing the head there on that 3rd and 4th shot. Getting real close to catching the recall on that, but Nutrier has really shown us that they're able to stabilize 2 commanding rounds in a row.
We have Nutrier match point. Like, I think they're just gonna like shut this one out probably. I mean, it's looking like Jesuit on a rough buy. They're not gonna have full rifles, but like they're still gonna have some. They can do some damage. We've seen it thrifty from Nutrier. Why can't Jesuit do it?
Yeah, that economy advantage is really big too, and it's just going to continue to keep the pace going. Yeah, we're seeing a couple economy buys there, I think. Koi either even just has pistol for this round.
It looks like this Raze might want to get active with their ultimate. The showstopper in, along with the breach ult, finding one.
Okay, there's the cleanup.
Reds finding the other. Just Kenny with 2 massive kills, refragging his team in that sewers position.
Yeah, 3 for Kenny is enormous, especially off the back of that huge start from, or that huge refrag after the beginning from Nutrier. Now stuck in the 2v2. Kenny pushing up a little more, but his Jetstream taking the kill. Now in just a 1v2. It's going to be a hard press to find the ace, which is what has to happen at this point for Kenny to keep the round going.
I mean, Kenny using his ultimate to find the position of the 2 other players, just looking, finds the 4th.
And that's the shutdown on Jetstream too. It was Battle Cypher's just absolutely popping off, but
can't find it.
4K, not strong enough.
Showing how dominant they are, just like keeping that momentum from this season and just looking great. Come back here. We're actually starting in Ascent right now. Unfortunately, we couldn't see the start of this round, but we are on round 4, and we see Jesuit up 3-0. Like, kind of like I was saying.
Yeah, we've not just starting. We're not just starting. We have started. So that is, yeah, exactly as you called it. We're taking some clear dubs today. Oh no, I think we're liars. It looks like the the overlay is just waiting to update. So actually Nutria coming out looking really strong on attack already. So that is going to be a pretty significant
That
marker to be
is-
seeing. Not clear dubs, unfortunately.
That's a little bit unfortunate for, I mean, Jesuit. Hopefully bounce back. It's totally possible, but like, here we have, like, again, looking at the compositions of characters here, we have Nutria playing more of a traditional composition. Usually, oh, and Kenny getting taken out by Shadow there. That's a massive first blood for Jesuit.
Yeah, so
Jes-
Nutria, actually, that was Nutria taking that first pick, so maybe it, yeah, so we are waiting for those to hop around. So the plant going down as well with only one pick, and it has to be a full rotation now from the defense to try and make this one happen. Astra
Looks like we're
dropping
getting a
smokes on site.
5v4 retake with this Chase finding a kill, and then Shadow trading it out. Looks like we have a 3v1 here. Jesuit looking to get their first round. Koi just in a 1v2. What magic can he make happen? Unfortunately, can't make anything happen.
Oh,
And
the single click. Koi absolutely thought that they had the headshot and nearly got that opportunity to go into the 1v1 and try and find that defuse, but it's just not to be. It's that first round finding the board for Jesuit now.
I mean, looking at Jesuit here,
No, Nutria is red team.
Nutria is the NT.
There we go. There we go. We're all caught up.
So, wait, what? Okay.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we were
NT for
right.
Nutria.
It is 3-1.
All on the same page.
Nutria having quite a few ults here, but unfortunately getting spotted out by that KO knife. It's a little bit unfortunate. That's, like, I mean, Jesuit knowing where a lot of them are in this A main position, so they still have a lot of time on the clock. Can make a lot of decisions here. Can either cut noise, rotate to B. I mean, can make an infinite number of decisions.
Yeah, it looks like there's some pressure, at least looking at the opportunity to rotate and go back down mid. Still keeping diffuser towards A site, looking for that opportunity, but there's a lot of vision down from heaven, which is going to make it very difficult to make that push. Now, the attack is having some reservations about pushing up, keeping the killjoy, get some vision behind on mid, but at this point, having seen no rotate so far, the defense is looking pretty comfortable in keeping their pressure on A. Yeah, utility going in here. We got to make that rotate back from our jet.
Reds just running on side with the judge. You just don't see that every day.
Might as well
Like,
just jumping right on up there, not taking the opportunity. Yeah, no jump left to
wild.
get back up onto heaven, and that's
mean-
where they really need the pressure. Even though there's Astra smoke there, it's going to be just enough to get this plant down.
Jesuit looking at a pretty difficult retake here, but with a shot like that, it might just make it a little bit easier. Kenny finding it. 4v4 retake here. Bomb still taking down. Reds not being able to find anything in the smoke. Taps the bomb. Viper's Pig going down here. What magic can Nutria make happen here? I'm not entirely sure. It's just this Astra. This lonely Astra on... Just can't make anything happen, and just Jesuit sticking that bomb defuse. I mean, like, that's their 4th round. Their
Yeah.
4-1 up. This is, I think, the first time. I mean, they've got a pretty solid lead here.
Yeah, that's looking pretty nice. So, unfortunately for Nutria, they seemed pretty hesitant all through the middle of the round on deciding exactly what they were going to do, and they end up going with their same first push anyways, which cost them time in the long run as well. So, they lost out on most of what they had going for them as far as time goes. I think actually rotate down mid would have been enormous for them, or even moving over onto B site once they saw that there was plenty of vision from that KO catching them out, and Jet still holding up
Like
top.
a massive push here. This Zare just trying to get some B main control. Just not finding anything, but like still getting a lot of info. And Zare, oh my god, Chase finding 2, but Shadow being able to trade him out, not giving him the super amount of bugs, and just like the rest of Jesuit cleaning up what Chase started. Like,
That is huge. The
just
pre-fires
unlooks
giving away
that-
the location is there.
Zare,
fire
I
back.
mean, this lone KJ just has a lot on their shoulders right now. And then Kenny just one shut it down and just walks in, headshot. What more do you ask for out
Yeah.
of Kenny?
Kenny, a really standout player already on Jesuit High School's team, really being able to bring up the flank and clutch up those last kills whenever the team needs them. and has been performing really well already throughout this map.
Following Kenny on the map here, you can like really see that Kenny is their anchor. He's like their anchor. He plays the sites that all the other players aren't playing and just wants to make sure they just can't flank behind him. I mean, that's the power of the Cypher. Like, Cypher's trip's so strong because they never go down unless Kenny dies, but he's just never putting himself in a position to die.
Whoa.
Now that I say that, he is running down
Early
mid.
aggression. And
Some massive aggression, but Kenny's still finding these shots.
it's enormous to see in that position. This is a huge
Kenny
deficit
kept
for
going
the
on, but he has
attack.
no idea where Jetstream is.
Yeah, a rough time to be pushing through smoke, especially when there's really no onus for you as a defender to be trying to get any pressure on that angle.
You can see Nuclear taking this A site pretty easily, but Zare shutting it down from the back of Gen, but
One
Gani
enemy remaining.
trading out these trades
down A.
everywhere. But Koi has the read onto where Jetstream is, but just got a better pre-fire.
Yep, nice, perfectly timed crouch there, actually getting out of vision, no matching crouch. So that we'll find another round, the second one for Nutrier, starting to find their groove back a little bit, even in the face of Jesuit getting really aggressive. Those first two picks should have been monumental, but Kenny kind of proceeded to push it a little outside the envelope.
They just went too far in.
Yeah,
You know,
going too hard.
They should have just falled back, played respected Nutrier, but they just didn't. They were just like, yeah, I feel like I'm gonna be better than you, and they paid the price. I mean, looking at this ult economy here, you can see Nutrier going towards this B site. And, like, we see a lot of Killjoys when they have their ult, which Nutrier does have this KJ ult going towards that B site. And right now you can see it's gone down. It's going to be a pretty easy site to take as nobody from Jesuit is on it. But that could also be a blessing, so we're going to have an easier retake since no one will be caught by this KJ ult. This site execute going out, Jet dashing onto that lever, putting a lot of aggression. Bomb still hasn't gone down yet.
Kenny, our player, to look for biding time.
Fatal going in. Looks like we're going to get a fast retake, but
All
Shadow is just not allowing that to happen, but the trade's coming out. Jesuit High School trying to revive their KO, successfully do it. But, I mean, just massive trades with the Bulldog, but Chase and Koi, they don't care about the trades. They can trade themselves. They don't need to be traded.
Yeah, Rez ends up finding quite a bit of value keeping KO up and him finding a kill right there at the end as well, clutching up another round and pushing that lead even further.
I mean, like we were talking about at this break, this bind map is very difficult. Looking like we're going to get a Shadow out of Nutrier, which super important. I would take this like really important timeout. Like 6-2 down, 4 rounds down. You really don't want this lead to slip any further. Their economy isn't going to be in the best spot right now, which is okay. I mean, maybe you're going to do a set play here with the smaller guns, with the less valuable guns, but like you can still make a lot happen with the Stingers and the Spectres and like maybe a Bucky. You know?
Yeah, just holding angles and pushing up when Jesuit gets a little over aggressive, as has been their tendency these last 2 rounds. Now they're starting to find their groove. Jesuit is getting a little overconfident, like you're saying, pushing the envelope in a couple of these plays. And you've got some stuff to work off of too. You know that Kenny is almost always going to be looking for that flank, especially once the execute starts going down, where he's been really deadly. He shuts down any sort of multi-kill streak that Nutri has been getting up to and is forcing a lot of these trades that we've seen as well. Another big player, Koi, who's forcing these main angles as well and just stepping up whenever Nutri starts forcing an angle.
I think what's important to look at here is that, I mean, I think if Nutri keeps seeing, like, they're leaving this B site completely open. Like, the only thing that's guarding it is a Cypher trip. Like, I don't think Nutri has quite realized that Jesuit's doing that. They're stacking a site. They're, like, not, they're just guessing. and they and
50-50.
then Nutri keeps, like, choosing the wrong site.
Yeah, every single time. I would love to see some more flexibility moving to the other site. You've got a lot of time to work with, especially when they're getting good intel consistently
Shadow
on each of these rounds.
on this Viper looking to get pretty aggressive into this tree position. Getting mollied off doesn't allow anything to happen, but Guani just dying for that first blood. I mean,
Koi's just ready.
Does
Oh my god, doubly ready, getting 2 kills before Reds finds the kill. Turtle takes down 1 up and very
cleans it up.
quickly.
just like a super clean round out of Jesuit, just like shutting all the aggression down. It didn't look like that Nutrier was really together there. It kind of just looked like they swung in one by one, and Jesuit just shot him.
Yeah, we just need to see some plays off of intel. Consistently, Nutrier is getting good information to be working off of on their execute, but they're not acting on it. We saw with that Tasmanian Tiger exactly what was coming around that corner, saw two players, and did not act on the intel. Instead of chose to push down directly into those players who have a huge advantage holding angles with rifles, especially when you're like going into a frenzy like we saw. And that's just not a recipe for success, especially when mid and especially B site being unguarded. That's such a ripe opportunity.
Looking like Nutrier wants to use their Skydog a little bit early. I feel like it just didn't get the value that they might have wanted it to. Like, they can clear B main with that, they can clear A main with that, and those are two very difficult choke points to like clear. And Sky being their only initiator, it puts them in a pretty, like, not great position. Like, it's a little bit rough, but, I mean, still, swinging together, also a great way to clear corners, check corners, pretty safe way. So, I mean, looking at this mid hold here, we have this Viper Wall, which allows them to get a lot of mid control, which is super good. They can, like, walk all the way up the tree here, and they just had no idea. And then Shadow finding one in their spawn, but Chase quickly trading it out.
Not bad on the flank watch. It also gives you some intel that one player is going to be a while back on the getting back to the site for the retake, but that did put them in position. Yeah, Chase, 3 kills on the round because they've left him in a position where he's going to be watching that flank. They know that there's a player here. Dashes in, sees the opportunity where Koi has already taken down Reds. Doesn't quite find this last kill. Joy, yeah, Kenny closing this one out.
Not quite finding anything. It's just like, I don't want to be like rude or anything, but like following into like Jetstream, just it kind of looks like an unwinnable decision when he's left in that 1v4. Like, I just don't know if fighting that would be the best play. Like, saving the gun, their eco isn't great. He's going down from a Vandal to a Spectre, but I mean, you can make a lot happen with a Spectre.
Yeah, I did like that early round. They did a great job of sectioning off the choke point into A site using the Viper Wall is great to open up a sight line directly parallel and looking into mid choke going into A. But once again, this is just not a
in this
formula pushing A every single round. There's a Jet pushing up, not quite finding a kill, but doesn't die until
Reds
now. Chasing one,
but Boy finding two with their own. Kenny finding one, and the defenders shutting it down. I mean, like, it just doesn't look like they're just always running into the stack. I mean, B, if you look back, it was completely open. There was no one there.
Yeah,
they could have. If they ran at B, they would have been like free.
Yeah, if I'm Jesuit High School right now, I see no reason to change what we're doing ever. And like so far, they have been challenged once on their weak side. You know, there's been 4 players there every single time on A site, pushing up further and further, just holding the closest choke point that they can get. Okay, interesting. We're seeing an Odin. This actually, I think, is going to really play into that pre-firing that has been just working out for Jesuit.
It is very, very good on this map. I mean, the walls are paper thin. Like, you can get a lot of spams through it. Like, it's got a high penetration of fire. It can shoot through almost any wall. And it's just super easy and valuable. But, I mean, boy, finding Reds again. Like, I don't think, like, Nutrier has gotten a first blood. I think they've only died first, which is just not what you want to see. And, like, 1UP has had this Sky ult for so long, and they choose to use it here and when they're down a player, which is could be useful. Like, finding a lot of info. Looks like they're wanting to take this A site. Looks like we get a Sky Flash in, but not finding too much value off of it. And this KO ult gonna stop this spike take, but Shadow, great lurk through this tree position.
Yeah, that's good. Saw this player nearly taking down the enemy Jet in that early section. Almost having the opportunity to get the first frag. Now pushing the angle once again as we see our first rotate onto B site. The defense is understanding this, moving themselves as well, leaving just one on B site to cover the other angle. And now it's going to be very, very clear that the push is coming through. Kenny pre-firing through with the Odin, gets one. Chase gets the other on the op, and Kenny cleaning up 2 more.
Jesuit just... It's their map. This is what, you know, like,
absolutely.
It's just like Nutrier didn't switch anything up. They went A like 5 times, ran into a 4 stack every time, and then decided let's go A some more. And it just didn't work. They didn't really explore the map. They didn't look for any picks. They didn't default. They didn't really do anything, and it's just
Yeah.
you could clearly see maybe they just aren't comfortable on this map.
Yeah, and there's a lot that's not getting the same kind of value on their team. I mean, we've seen this mirrored Cypher every round, but not setting yourself up to have any opportunity to actually use any flank watch utility throughout an entire round. You're not playing to the strengths that you've picked on your team. When they're basically just initiating and dueling every single fight, it's like, why are we bringing the rest of this utility if we're not going to play off of it?
Exactly. I mean, jeez, looking deep into the site, just going
That's
right
amazing.
over the KJ util and just finding so much value. Chase just opening up the rounds for this like Jesuit team.
Yeah, Omen coming in as well. This is a crazy burst of a take. The rotation has to come up from Nutrier. They were thrown into a frenzy in that initial fight. Tasmanian Tiger not finding anyone as it ducks into the hallway. Koi takes another kill here as well. Putting Nutrier in a terrible, terrible position. They're flashing in. They have to break into their
Nutrier
own
just
point.
a man down, 4v3 here, and just 2 men down, and just like Jesuit's just so clean. Like it just looks like they can do no wrong in this map.
I think that's Chase and Koi taking all 5 kills between the two of them. A 3K and a 2K on the round. Chase, beautiful. Start using the movement really well. That's what you're bringing Jet for.
Like, I mean, it just feels like they know. Like, KJ usually does set up on the B side, and just Jet and Chase just dashed right over it. Like, he just didn't care. He was like, I'm just not going to even attempt to pass by your util. I'm just going to like, fly right over it, because I can do that. And they just weren't expecting it. They just kind of left KJ on the site to die alone, which, not cool, not great, but...
Well, we're getting scary close to the map point at this rate. What do you think Nutri's got to do to keep themselves in it?
I mean, Nutri just has to play off each other. They just gotta find rounds. They just aren't quite doing that right now. I mean, sorry, finding this
Okay,
opening
we got the
pick,
refrag.
gesturing, being able to trade it out. That's a huge trade. I mean, 4v4, trying to retake this A site. We can see, like, bomb is ticking. It's important to keep an eye on that, but looks like we're gonna have 3 through this tree position. Jetstream alone in heaven, looking to see if they can find anything. Doesn't quite find Turtle. And just like it's just chasing Kenny every time. I just look at the kill feed and I just see chasing Kenny.
Every time. Yeah, they're performing so well. That was such a missed opportunity from up on heaven, having Spectre in hand as well, and that's a lot of the money on the team. At that point, going down in round 1, they weren't able to end up using it. It was such a strong position with eyes on 3 players from the attack, and that could have been the multi-kill to bring this back, but it's just not going to come out. A great job of watching the angle from Chase up top, though, just totally shutting down the flank. A really hard push back into B that we're seeing once again in Chase, of course, at the forefront.
I mean, Chase is looking to get so much value. Like, every round just gets so much value. Dash is burned early, though. That is good to look at. Chase alone on site, and then, like,
One up picks up that kill.
being able to shut him down. That was a great use of the util, being able to separate Chase from the rest of his team and just being able to spray him down as a team. Like, okay, it is a 5v4. Not undoable for Jesuit, but it is looking a bit harder.
Yeah, I mean, this is even steeper than we saw on the earlier map when Jesuit was having one heck of a time just trying to keep up with Nutrier. So it's a complete reversal I've seen on a swap of maps.
Sorry, seeing if they can find, but Jesuit is looking
mid.
clean, holding
taking
down
the
that market
collateral on
position,
that
holding
swing as
down
well.
that min position for market,
One
Just
enemy remaining.
being able to flawless. Like, completely new Nutrier that we're seeing here. Like, flawlessed it. Pretty simple. I mean, just look clean.
Yeah, so here's the thing is the really, really aggressive first couple rounds from Jesuit that pushed us up to this match point are pretty different from the rounds that we're going to see from here on. Gun lineups are going to be radically different. No longer are you able to just fly in with a ghost 2-tap and get on out of there and push through. You do have more firepower to yourself, but if they're body shots, you're not getting the same kind of value. Armor is online now, and have your weapons equipped across both teams now. So Nutrient is taking these opportunities, slowing down the fights a little bit, and using their own improved ability to hold angles, because the AK around the corner is shut down.
Jesuit is on this eco buy. Let's see if they can get anything, but they're getting 2 kills. Shadow finding that opening, but like Chase just running it down, hitting headshots. I mean, and Astra's on the A site, can't find any value into the round and has to retake into a 1v4. It's just not going to be good. Like, they're forced to retake. This is map point for Jesuit, and then just looks like they're going to leave them in a disaster and an impossible position to win.
At this point, there's nearly no point in saving. You're not going to save any money. It's only for KD at this rate if you're looking to grab a couple kills.
And then
Wani around the
finding
corner.
one.
Yeah, closes this one out.
Finding
and
one, I
within the
mean,
map.
don't count them out yet. With a Guardian, looking, seeing if they can find any more picks, and boy, just shuts him down. That's a 13-3. Just a completely different, like, result from our first map. I mean,
Yeah.
Nutrier taken, like, Fracture by storm, and then Jesuit jumping back in and just taking this Ascent map and just stomping.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Ascent perfectly tailored to the strengths of Jesuit. I didn't even expect that crazy level of aggression we got to see on the final half as they were just sprinting towards the finish line. Chase just absolutely picking it up, putting the team on his back. That's not derogatory to the rest of the team. That is entirely to push up Chase's gameplay
I mean,
right there. Every
Chase
single
and-
fight was just Chase.
Yeah, I mean, Kenny was the supporting role. Like, I mean, he was there. He was there in the kill feed sometimes, but, like, Chase just, like, opened up the round, opened up the map, and just
Yeah. Well, it's like,
allowed the team to, like, get the value that they were getting.
yeah, it's not even like opening up a round. It's just winning the round when you get a 2K, 3K nearly every single round on your attacking half. And that's setting you up for so much success, especially since the defense has to be split onto the other side. They have maybe one or two players on that side of the map to even contest with the rest of your team. So we got to see a lot of very dedicated one-side pushes, especially with Nutrier forcing A site almost every single round. So we'll see if we end up with a map that kind of forces these teams to play maybe a little more separately. They're playing pretty concerted, but some of these times they're playing right into the traps of the defense, especially on a map like that where you got these close angles where you know where the heads are going to be coming into view, and it's pretty easy to pre-fire those. I mean, we even see Odin coming out and having success.
I mean, the Odin is just a very strong weapon in general. Like, it shoots super fast, does a lot of damage, can shoot through almost any wall, and just has, like, no damage fall off. And just kind of using it pretty perfectly. I mean, it's super great for spamming through smokes, because, like, you're not going to want to step in the Odin spray. You're just going to die.
Don't touch that. We just got to wait it out. Yeah. So as we prep our next map for our map 3, as we really get to determine, we're getting to the weeds of it to decide who really deserves to go in on the upper side of the bracket between Nutrier and Jesuit. We're going to go to a break, and we'll come back with our next map coming up. So stay tuned.
Well, welcome back. Here we are. I mean, we're gonna be looking to get into our third map here soon, which will be Haven. Kind of fitting as it has 3 sites. So,
Yes, yeah,
third
so the
map.
perfect one for map 3. Yeah, you're so right. Yeah, so I'm still Treasure. You're still Claire.
Um,
So we're still continuing on as well with New Trier High School and Jesuit High School. Locked in this combat, it's going to be quite an intense one with those first 2 maps being extremely one-sided. We thought this might be a New Trier sweep after map 1. It was just so dominating, but Jesuit comes back even better with that 10 or 13 and 5 or 13-3 map. I'm sorry, I'm mixing up my numbers, but 13 and 3 map on the second one, just completely shutting out the attack from New Trier, where they got 2 rounds. It was just a domination.
Just didn't do too much there. I mean, they just kind of got shut out. That defense side was 10-2. I mean, not much else you can really say. I mean, Nutria just didn't really make anything happen. It kind of looks like they just kept running in and dying.
Yeah, it was a little
unfortunately.
worrisome to see from a team that was so showing us such competent gameplay, and it looks like a lack of shot calling. They had plenty of opportunities where there were definite plays that we could see on the board, but they weren't going for it, going for basically slamming their head into the same strat time and time again. And then as soon as Jesuit comes in, doing a totally different thing, coming around one blazing fast attack on B site last map, and
here
really
we are
showed beautifully there.
on Haven, looking at these team comps get picked, and on the side of Nutria, you can see that they're going to be on the attack, I think. Maybe. I can't. Yeah.
Yep.
Attack.
Or
Looks
sorry,
like-
sorry, Nutria on defense there. It's
Yes.
covered up by the
Oh
by
my
overlay
gosh.
just a
I
little bit right
cannot
there.
read
Yeah.
right now.
We catching up with it.
Here we have, I mean, Nutria playing a very standard composition. This is what a lot of like professional teams like to play. Is this Jet, like this Omen or an Astra,
Select
Breach,
your agent.
like KJ, and then this Sova. You see a lot of combos with this Breach, Omen, and Jet. You can have a Breach stun and then Jet can dash in, or an Omen blind and Jet can dash in, or just like a Breach flash. You can do a lot of combinations with this composition, and hopefully we see some crazy stuff pulled out from them.
Yeah, and we're seeing some repeats here as well. Chasing Kenny, 2 really strong players who we saw absolutely fly above their station
mean,
last map, keeping true on the
this-
Jet and Cypher.
Hopefully we see this Kenny Cypher, like he's popping off. Like we have this chase on Jet was popping off. Zari, I'm pretty sure was on the Fade last round as well, and then Kenny again on the Cypher, chase on the Jet.
So very consistent choices over from Jesuit.
And here we are. We're loading in here now. We're on this first pistol round. A lot of momentum can be started in the pistol round usually.
I mean, we definitely saw that last map on our final half as well.
I mean, yeah. I mean, and Shadow here doing a pretty interesting buy on Sova, buying a Sheriff, not deciding to buy any util, just a Sheriff. He's gonna have his recon dart, of course, but no shock dart, no drone. I mean, he's just going to hit heads. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, that's some real confidence on this role where you don't have anything else to be working with right off the bat. So we'll see if that speaks to a larger strategy overall from Nutria as they move in. Yeah, Sonar going off right off the bat, using that bounce, not finding any marks with it though. So it looks like they're going to go, yeah. Oh,
Getting
very
a
wisely to
massive-
rotate.
A fast take onto C. It's quick take through garage and really quick up C long. It looks like it's going to be a very successful take on the C side, and just gonna look at like Nutria just needs to defend it.
Full retake has to go up. Zari absolutely
Zari
concussed, but coming down behind,
Going
finds
down,
1 and
Zari
2.
finding 2, and then in a blink of an eye, this Jesuit won.
You have such
Yeah,
a way
a
of
really nice attacking half, taking the first Omen pick. That puts them in a great spot to keep moving forward. And just like they did in the last map, starting on the attack, they're showing that confidence and the ability to push in, take the frags extremely quickly. It'll be a question of whether they can keep this up once the ability to move really quick and not have much defensive utility on the board will keep them going at that pace though, because pretty soon Nutria will have some more to be dropping down. We'll have smokes in order to stop a push like that.
Yeah, no, 100%. As we can see here on this eco buy for Nutria, they're gonna be stacking A, but They're going to be quickly rotating off when they realize that nobody is actually near A at all. Then it's going to be another fast C take. Again, that split long push. Like, it worked once, why not try it again? And it's working again and again. We're going to need to see them shut that down here in later rounds, but like, we just got to see their retake. Dude, Guami finding a great shot on Kenny. And Chase not being able to land any of the shots with the Sheriff, but that's okay. Being able to reset. They still have to take the site. And Chase resetting. Just looking at so many angles right now. You can see he's kind of nervous for this garage take.
Smoke and C hallway is huge. Chase now stuck in the smoke on
Reds
site.
finding 2 massive picks. Just being able to do a lot here. And it's just this Omen in this 1v3 scenario. Being able to not do any much. You can only pray that they're going to hit this Bite Diffuser, but they can find it.
They'll finish it too. Yeah, no economy moving forward. Spectre lost to the Void, maybe even picked up by Nutrier there. A great retake, all on the back of Reds pushing in, landed that double kill and setting everything up for the team to just follow through.
It was just, I mean, a great retake. I mean, like, yeah, they didn't like find anything earlier into the round, but like that retake, they just Guami finding that great first blood and. Just like the rest kind of like, they let Reds get that Spectre and Reds just popped off with it. Now we have new tier onto this lower buy. Like, let's see what they can do with it. Looks like we're getting a fast B take. And I mean,
oh my God.
One Up just decides, yeah, I don't really want you guys to take the B site, and just decides to kill 3 of them by himself.
3 for 1, Reds gets out, comes back, gets a kill, and a second one to pick up exactly where 1UP left off. Huge stuff from the defenders, nearly flawless. Only 1UP has to trade out in that early fight. So now 2 and 1 for Nutri, and shutting down Jesuit's attempts at this blazing fast push directly onto site. They're looking a lot more confident and a lot more comfortable, able to stop that kind of cheese strap from going off.
Would love to see near tier looking a bit more confident. I mean, being able to like get shut down like so heavily on ascent probably doesn't feel great. So being able to see them rebound pretty quickly, not looking like they're too scared of what Jesuit has to offer on this Haven map is huge.
Yeah, this is great for Nutria, is that they are able to approach this next round with a full buy. Even Reds pushing up and dropping in with an operator on this next round is going to be a huge impact. Watch and see, but no one's coming down on these long angles to fight him.
Keep an eye on Kenny as he's lurking out to this A site. I think he got spotted by Shadow, but I'm not entirely sure. He 100% did as he droned him and hit the recon dart. But Shadow super pushing up aggressive and just can't find anything.
It's the over-aggression from Nutrier now that is hurting them. Kind of the opposite of the last couple rounds that we've been seeing. Chase around in the corner, trying to find this rotate before it gets back in. But Reds just shuts down with the op.
Being able to shut down that aggression. Great shot. Now, retaking with an op is notably very difficult to do. But he pops the knives, doesn't really care about the op. Sorry, looking a bit rough here. And then just shuts him down. Turtle and a 1v2. Doable. And just not doable. Looking the wrong way, unfortunately, and just getting shut down by Guani.
Yep. Nutrier really starting to stabilize at this point. A 3rd round in the book as well. And those knives were a great option. I love that pick. Like you were saying, the op is a really rough thing to get stuck with that point. They get to save it and keep that economy going forward with that full buy for the whole team. This is a really comfortable position for now for Nutrier. Their economy is in full swing. Meanwhile, Jesuit has to have a save round here, buying mostly light armor to keep themselves going, just in order to have a little bit more chance at these fights. But they're going to have to push, move in fast, and try and pick up a more powerful weapons in order to keep the round going after that. The Sheriffs mostly.
Chase going to pop the knives here. Like, and again, Jet knives can take over rounds. If, like, the Jet's good enough, Jet hits the shots, and the Jet is on, like, can clean up rounds. Like, all they really need is 1 kill and then grab that gun, and then, like, the round is on. Like, looking like Jesuit going over to this A site. It seems that New Tier has a sneaking suspicion that they might do this, but Jesuit deciding to back off a little bit. They don't want to commit. They don't need to. They got a minute 14 left on the clock. They got plenty of time.
Defense is taking their time too, keeping players posted on each other's site, making sure that they're going to be ready for a rotate. And it looks like just that is coming out as well. Our carrier sticking by T-spawn, waiting to see exactly what we're working with. Zare still looking for an opportunity to open up.
Gotta watch
a
out for
site.
Chase here. I mean, that up.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is going to make it really dangerous.
Chase
Look at that sight line.
nice. I mean, I don't. Oh, sorry. Massive shot with the Sheriff here. Like,
Oh,
two
no.
Super clean shots.
Your site just
5v3.
busted open.
The site wiped open by Zari, just by himself. Just with all he needs is Sheriff.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. Keeping with this one player lurking, waiting for an opportunity. If you lose them, it's not huge, and you're able to make the rotate immediately. And if you do take something, they're poised in a great location to just keep it
by
going.
an Odin, but I mean, like, this guy's crazy.
Zare popping off this round, nearly solo responsible for this round going their way when it had looked like it'd stall out through that second minute of the round, but just showing up 3 1-taps, especially dropping utility in between those, just out shooting the competition. Truly.
I mean, we were looking at Chase with the knives, but like maybe we should have just been looking at Zari with the Sheriff.
Yeah, not where we expected the gold to be coming from.
Like, but like it doesn't really matter where the kills come from as long as they happen, and being able to get a thrifty at this point in the round is super huge. Stops the fast aggression onto C from Reds, but like, I mean, quickly shut down. Koi being very cautious that another person might be in the C cubby position, but cleared out so far, being able to take that worry down a little bit. Koi deciding that they might want to use this breach ult here on this C site. Looks like they want to chase just entering here. No smokes down on the site. This garage position is pretty open. Gotta watch out for that. Bomb will be going down, but we will be seeing some 2 massive ults coming out. The Sova ult and Breach ult. But sorry, being able to hold their ground and getting Jetstream. Like massive trades going into the kill feed here. 1v3. Nutrier just being shut out. Like,
yeah, can he find a way around back into this objective takedown Shadow for that final life defense, stopping that one in its tracks with the counter ults. That was huge from Sova, actually. I think that was what really clinched things up.
I mean, tied. We're tied here at 3-3. This map, very, like, even. Very even. You can't really, like, say it's a certain, like, side. Maybe you could say it's a attacker side because of the 3 sites, but, I mean, the data doesn't necessarily show that it's a huge swing in the attacker's favor, but I mean, looking like we're gonna get a fast T from Jesuit here. Just contacting up to the C site, but Wani thinks something is suspicious.
Yeah, and they're correct in doing so. Ooh, stunned out of that opportunity. A refrag is picked up by Shadow, though, keeping this one going. A great angle! Oh my god!
Getting so much value with that Ares. It's just Kenny here, but just can't make enough happen. And like another thrifty. Like we're just getting thrifties here left and right.
Yeah, and that has brought back this economy. Well, Jesuit got themselves back into it money-wise for a moment, and now just very properly even both teams being able to get basically whatever they want. I'd be surprised no op being brought on the red side here. Probably indicates that they're not going to be pushing for A this time. They've gone there the last couple objectives in a row, so we're going to move for something else. The same aggression that we were seeing in the early runs that really paid off for them has fallen away, and we're back into this blow-for-blow slugfest.
Again, you can see just like, if you look at the scoreboard, it's just a jet battle. It's just a jet duel. Like, I mean, the Jets topping the scoreboard on each side, 10 and 9 respectively, and just like, I mean, that's kind of a jet off. Who can outperform the other?
Yeah, just all about Reds and
Chase.
Every single round they are just creating the dialogue, but we've got plenty of players that are stand out coming back to this. Zari getting recon bolted there immediately just kills the opportunity for pushing B early. It's a really aggressive strategy to be going for B because it's easy to oversee from both A and C site. So now rotating back onto A, this is kind of what they forced into on their utility buy at the beginning of this round. Jetstream getting caught totally out of position there. 2 players smoked off both in heaven and hell. Another smoke going to be going out here to just keep up that pressure. The attackers are in a great spot to be looking for this plan.
Keep an eye on this flank. Zari finding one, but Wani finding one on the flank. It's going to be met in the Omen and Sewers, but Turtle shuts him down. Reds left in a pretty rough situation here. An Op decides to trade it out for the Phantom.
Yep, wise.
Wise bomb tapped. Turtle now, but that updraft, being able to just change the crosshair of Turtle is just so important. Shadow being able to defuse, but doesn't quite get half. It's a Reds and Koi 1v1. Bomb still ticking down. Koi being able, gonna have to make a move here. But this
Beautiful!
Reds just plays their 1v1 so well, so composed.
Yet another 3K under the belt keeps Nutrair going right there, even despite this really, really nasty attacking push in the end. But Turtle did a great job of coming up behind, covering the flank, even while the plant was going down and still getting torn apart by the defense as Chase started making that retake.
I mean, just look at Reds. He's just expanding his lead, his dominance over the scoreboard here. I mean, 13-4. What more could you ask for a Jet?
Yeah, that's exactly what you bring him for. Mixing up those sight lines. I mean, the dipping, dodging, ducking, and weaving is coming out. Updraft into kill, just mixing up, especially with that cross angle with Koi still behind them.
A super early smoke out from Jesuit here at the top of C long, just bringing those question marks up that C long position, just making Nutrair have to stay in the C position. And they decide to fade ult it. Looks like they wanted to go in, but they're just getting util spammed off of the site, and they just can't quite do it. A massive fade eye revealing 3 on the site. Kenny picking it up. Massive trades coming out from both sides here.
Ooh. One up looking to shatter the area around him and try and buy a little more space. Liz, no, he's actually been cleared out already.
Jesuit making 2 players over to the A site, but like, guess who's still there? Reds. Like, very well could just 1v2 them. But he's going back onto this B site. Looking like we might just get a perfect timing here from Zare.
Oh my god. One up, keeping this going, just shuts down Kenny, who was poised in such a strong spot to stop any rotations in from C-Site. Despite that, a lot of time has been bought, and the 2 C-Site players are going to be stuck there for quite a while as this defuse goes down. Zare doesn't find what he's looking for back here in mid, and Reds did just getting the shutdown with Op, going back up to heaven and trying to find the last remaining attacker with this location just given away. Everyone now collapses. In. It's just Turtle against the world.
Looking for a super aggressive angle here. He might get spammed out. Finds one. That's a huge round, and then just being traded out. Pretty simple. I mean, Turtle was in a pretty rough spot there, but like could have made something happen. Got one, but just couldn't quite close out the round. Couldn't quite clutch it. I mean,
One Up wasn't even positioning aggressively through any of these spots, just keeping in a nice safe position and waiting for any opportunity to come out from the attackers, making mistakes in his vicinity. Chase playing really aggressive, pushing up into A from that west end site and hallway, and just getting totally shut down by a really cute flick from One Up, who just kept it going. As soon as anyone would come in, he was getting comes immediately and playing off them so well.
We're getting a timeout here, which is pretty good. I think Jesuit really needed to call this timeout. I mean, the game's fallen out of their favor. I mean, they won pistol round, but couldn't quite close out that second round and just got thrifted, unfortunately. But, like, it happens. You know what? They probably weren't too worried about that one, right? But, like, the dominance from Nutrair has just continued throughout this map, and that's quite concerning. Jesuit just hasn't been able to find a stop to it. And hopefully after this timeout, they have a plan. They're focused, they're calm, they're collected, and just being able to, like, pop off.
At this point, they've got 2 ultimates ready, but even in that regard, they've fallen behind Nutrair. There's 3 on the other side, dueling Jet ults potentially. Neither of them going to be needing to pop. Ooh, Chase actually keeping this as a main weapon at this rate.
Again, Chase, I definitely think is a good enough player that's all he needs sometimes. Like, I mean, he just needs to find the shots, find the angles. Hopefully he gets the support that he can get from this Omen, right? This Omen flash or this breach stun.
Oh no, a little bit of friendly fire on Kenny.
From that spam through the wall.
Doesn't matter though.
I mean, Red's just quickly pushing down this A sewers all by himself. Like, didn't even need any help. Didn't have anyone help from A long or like a short, which was like, I got it, I'm gonna handle it, and just finds a kill.
Look at this. On the right side of the map, Red's just totally shutting down any potential push onto A. Probably going to play here pretty long unless the
Chase finding
Seaside
Shadow,
defense is totally
Chase finding two.
shut down. Yeah, 2 knives is a great start. That's what the attack has been looking to play towards. Zari continuing that aggression and keeping the pressure up on the attackers. Plant is down now, and the Jet for the defense so far away from the fight. He's going to have to find something else to work with other than this operator, which is currently just holding a sight line. And that's not what you need in order to make the retake. Both Nutria plays just kind of slowing things down.
Looks like they're just playing, seeing if they get some exits, right?
Yeah.
Not trying to like find this retake, which seems to be pretty difficult, of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I was Jesuit in this position, I wouldn't be trying to hunt for kills. I mean, you personally don't have too much money, so like save the guns, save to the next round. I mean, you had a very successful round here off the back of Chase's jet knives, but like, who's to say that Chase can't hit shots with a Phantom or a Vandal?
Yeah, and that is huge for Chase, getting so much money back in the pockets after that round where he's forced to go just knives. And luckily for him, his gun skill is going to, knife skill, I guess, is going to come exactly when it's needed. And this gets the whole team back, not only in the round, bring it up to 6-4, a much more comfortable stat line in that regard, but also back in the money where they can really sit head-to-head against Nutria.
I mean, the game's kind of 2 games. Like, the economy, very important. You have the gun economy, and then you have the ult economy, right? You got to balance all of those quite well. And then, I mean, Nutria, if you look there, got 3 ults. Got 3 pretty, I mean, 2 pretty big ults, and then you got Jet.
Yep.
Looks like they want to use one of them here. This KJ ult over to the C site. I mean, like, putting it back in the pocket. It was like, no, I don't think we should use it at the C site here. But here we have Jesuit quickly taking this A site. I mean, just like fast taking it. It didn't look like they used too much util. It kind of just looks like Nutria gave up. They just like, gave up the site, which is fine. Chase finding that spam kill on Shadow into heaven. This is going to be pretty rough, but this KJ ult is going down, which should give Nutria quite a bit of space on this A site. And then Reds finding Koi. That's a massive pick. This defuse coming in, and looks like nobody's near it. He's just sticking. Just continuing to stick, and just no one can stop it.
Yeah, huge Killjoy ultimate, holding it for that opportunity. Like you're saying, oh, a couple big ultimates were in the pockets, and just finding the opportunity where it's really going to make it work for, where they're really going to make it work for themselves. So Nutria still keeping 2 ultimates up, and now the ult economy for Jesuit has kind of caught up, and they're feeling a lot more comfortable. But to win a round basically on the back of just that 1 ultimate is a great spot to be
massive.
in.
I mean, Jesuit had to run so far off of that A site, and just nobody could stop it. No one could stop the plant. No one could stop the defuse. I mean, my apologies, but looks like we're gonna get some pretty quick aggression on this last round of Tap. Jace jumping in the window and just quickly shut down from Jetstream. It just didn't look like they had any more util to make sure that was the safe place for him to dash.
Yeah, any bit of utility, just checking out that angle.
But sorry,
drone
P,
orchestrate.
rather quickly. Here we have Kenny popping the Cypher ult. Knows where every single player is in this 3v2. Kenny just snuggled into this corner. Seeing it up. It's a great timing. 1v2. Kenny, we've seen him win these. Don't cut him out. Pulls out the classic. He's a demon.
Okay.
Kenny, 6 bullets, but both very low. But he can't
nearly
quite
enough.
close it out. What a round. That was a great try.
Yeah, we saw both carries going down pretty early. Reds and Chase off the board, and Kenny, we've seen some beautiful stuff from. Not quite sticking it out, but really faced up against these kind of sleeper carries. 1UP and Kenny, the 2 of them locked in this face-to-face battle as Kenny got live feed information of 1UP's location. Didn't end up catching him as he came around the corner, and that's what ended up ending the round in favor of Nutria.
Look at Reds. Freaking dominating. 18 and 6. He's got a 3 KD right now.
3.0. I can barely even count that high. It's insane.
Like that's like, I haven't passed 3rd grade yet. Like,
yeah, you just say earlier that you were born in 2012, so.
you know. something like that. I mean, on this defensive side for Jesuit, hopefully Kenny can find a little bit more success. I mean, Cypher is a more defensive, like, centric character, and Kenny could find a lot of success. But Chase and Koi are finding a lot of success, and Turtle being able to blind Guani on the back of sight. It's just Jetstream in this 1v3 on this pistol round. I mean, Bomb stranded in the back of this B site. It's kind of looking like an impossible task.
Yeah, at this point, and there's not a lot of economy to hold, so you're just going for the opportunity to try and find the 3-piece, the 4-piece, really, and end the round. Peeking around, but it's, oh my, so many angles are watched. Kenny on the hard left side, Chase and Omen on the far front side. There's no way of getting through that choke point.
I mean, as you said earlier, I mean, like, Jetstream just has no reason to live in this pistol round. Like living, like, would just keep him a classic or like a ghost or whatever he had, and like if he dies, he gets a lot more money into this next round. And economy is super important in Valorant, as we've stated before. I mean, here we have Jesuit forcing this round, which I mean, as anyone should expect, but forcing 4 stingers and a bulldog, and getting super aggressive on that A angle, as you can see there. Jet.
Okay.
Chase.
Sonar proves no shotguns right around the corner, which is what you really got to contend
You gotta watch.
with all those frenzies.
Shotguns are
They can be real scary. I mean, situational, but scary. I mean, you just lose. Like, there's no counterplay.
A judge can change a game. A judge is frightening. No one wants to play against a judge. But
no, it's not fun for anyone.
it is fun for the judger. The person judging, great fun. But here we have Nutrier just
Solid
walking
push.
up this mid. He's trying to find a plan. Finding a plan here would be super important. But if I was Jesuit, just oh my gosh,
Koi
popping off
Holy.
with that classic. You can just see how powerful that free gun can be. That right click, that 3-shot, that can do a lot of damage.
It is the perfect time to be pulling it out.
I mean, through those smokes, it's kind of like a mini shotgun, as we were mentioning earlier.
Yeah. I don't even think he was blind firing those. I think that was like a shooting gallery. Some pops out of the smoke, immediate right click, pops out of the smoke, right click. Just keep going, kill. As they're popping out. He was in such a rough spot too. I wouldn't blame him for just shutting down that situation and not finding the first flick needed and just getting shut down because you're surrounded by smoke and surrounded by players jumping out of it as well. But just being able to click exactly where he needs.
A lot of aggression on this eco, or this light buy, but Red's just shutting it down. I mean, who is this guy? He's a professional player.
Who is this guy?
Kenny just catching one up, not quite looking at him. Grabbing a Phantom, quite a bit of an upgrade, and Red's in mid. Kenny find one, but quickly gets shut down, but Turtle trades him out. So we have a 1v1 here. Turtle versus Reds. But
Reds has a sliver of health though, picks up a rifle, Phantom in hand and
Turtle
fully reloaded, ready for the flick. Yep.
Great shots. I mean, like, it's super well played from Jesuit there. I mean, what more can you say? I mean, they traded well. They had it. I like the idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't have better guns than new tiers, and so they was like, you know what? We're gonna do a set play. We're gonna push mid. We're gonna get some aggression there, and like, we're gonna try to find some picks. Like, they don't need to win that round. They just need to get some aggression. They need to get some picks. They need to get some economic damage.
Yes, exactly. Get some damage, and if you get kills, getting some money in your own pocket so you can keep going. And it's done that so well. I mean, look at Nutrier's lineup right now.
Like, just Nutrier is economically just stopped. Like, they don't have anything. They have light buy guns, but watch out for Reds' knives. They can be deadly. Reds, see? Finding one, as we say, being able to pick up that Phantom from Kenny. He could take this round into his control. If you do look, he does have 20-ish HP, which could be a problem. Chase finding Guani through the box. Chase finding another one. Talk about the other Jet being able to take this round into the control.
And Chase does have a lot more in the pocket to be working with as well. Phantom, but gun dropped. Yeah, Recon Bolt is huge. Just throwing that through the smoke right at the defuse is gives you a huge opportunity, but the smoke is going to cover, making it so much easier for defenders to get this one. Despite the huge efforts of Nutrier and their really strong early round aggression, they're just outpowered by the gunfight that is brought by all these phantoms coming around the corner from Jesuit through that fight. So a good early pick from Reds is leveraging full sight control, gets you the early plant, and that's enormous, but there's no good sight lines to be holding, and like I think the big thing was that push in from CT spawn. I'm not sure who it was, but they just totally shut down the Killjoy holding up close with a frenzy. Was it? Oh, yes, it was. Of course it was. Of course it's Chase. It's always one of these Jets. Every time something happens, it's you two.
Every time an insane play happens, you just got to look to the Jets. I mean, come on. Like, it's just such an entertaining, it might be the most entertaining character in Valorant. Like, they can do so much. Like, just look at him go.
Yeah, no, she's so fun. Like, adds so much to the game. I love her getting used because it's just so dynamic. It's so push and pull. You have some moments of just waiting, and she can break up any kind of lulls in the action. It's you know, if you're not performing, you're not performing. But everyone likes a player who's just gonna come in and pop off. The movement does so much to enable that and enable good players, so we can get a showcase like today.
Like today, I mean, Chase slowly catching up to Red's 23 kills here. I mean, let's see what else he can do. Let's see if he can catch up. Here we have, I mean, use your Nutrier getting a full buy. Okay, and like that's super important. Look at this A aggression from Jesuit. Getting this fade into a pretty cheeky angle, but deciding to show themselves. But they still get one.
Trade, okay. Is it
not bad?
Oh, they didn't quite trade headshots. Instead, Killjoy ended up getting killed right there. Jetstream pushing up.
Chase solo on site. Gonna be in quite the pickle here.
We have two in a second. He rounds the corner. There's the first one. There's the second one. Yes. Beautiful shots from Chase. A third one on a wall bang as well. Huge pressure. Koi is able to go and get this diffuser while the final Nutrier player just has to run down, trying to get in there, pre-firing. Yeah, the bomb isn't even going to do it either.
I'm telling you, dude, this Jesuit team is a defensive-sided team. Like, look at this.
Yeah, and that's a scary place to be at, especially as we're just shy of double-digit round count in their favor in map 3. So at this point, whoever wins this one does get to walk away, staying in uppers finals, moving on into the next side of the bracket to keep their pressure going and really ensure their chance to move on to day 2. The other team is going to be fighting for their lives in that redemption bracket underneath.
I mean, you don't want to be in the redemption bracket. You just want to smooth sailing into that upper bracket for sure. But, I mean, they just can't. New Tiers is just struggling to find some value on this attacker's side. You kind of see glimpses of it, and then it just crumbles.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I don't know if it's a problem with their play at all, because the two of them have just been so back and forth with so many moments of greatness for either team, both Nutrier and Jesuit, showing off exactly. There's the push in from Reds. Gets a kill, takes down Kenny, the refrag off his shadow, but one up, also knocked down. Guani trading once again, and now putting down that plant. Taking a second, though, stabilizing as
deciding to go
regroup
to on this C side, being able to plant the spike in a pretty good position here.
I like that.
Just using the KJ ult. I like this. Being able to extra safe. They don't want to take any precautions here. They just want to, like, secure this round. And, like, using this KJ ult can definitely help them. As you can see here, the spike is going to be planted on that C box right there. You can see them pinging it on the map here and putting a one-way. This is going to be a super difficult task for Jesuit to retake.
Yeah, smoke still for Zara are huge. That shuts down the big, long angle. Chase beginning the defuse, at least baiting it for just a moment, trying to find some of these attackers who have now become defenders. Jetstream takes the first kill, and Chase shuts down Reds. It's two more.
Tap, finds another one, but
ooh, the flick was there, too.
It was there, but he couldn't quite find it. I'm not entirely sure he would have been able to get it if he got that flick. The time was just too low, I think.
Yeah, I think at that point, bomb was going off anyways, but nearly the 4 kills needed to bring that one back, player count-wise at the very least. We're not seeing any ops being picked right off the bat here. A little bit interesting to see, and I think that, once again, definitely attackers not looking to go down C long, most likely, especially if they're bringing an Odin.
I mean, look at the kills. Chase catching right up to Reds there. One kill separates these two.
They've just been mirroring. One death as well to separate.
It's like they're like they're the same. Maybe they're
Yeah.
twins. I'm not entirely sure, but like they might be.
Twins separated by high school affiliation, both finding their true calling in Valorant. Some pretty early aggression on the defense from Jesuit, pushing up on A long, but not the same matched aggression from Nutria. They're waiting to bait out
I
those
mean,
same
Neutral
pushes.
playing pretty slow here. We don't see a lot of slow rounds out of these teams. We see a lot of fast, a lot of like powerful, explosive rounds, but playing a bit slower, playing a bit of more of a default, playing like to find a pick. Can't quite find one. That's okay. Just slowly picking. Watch out for Kenny with that Odin here.
Oh, he's going to be terrifying through the smoke, especially if you're concussed right there.
Chase being able to shut down Reds quickly onto this B site. One up, being up, ulting the Rolling Thunder into this A link. Just two here.
Yep. Oh, he
Quite
sees the shoulder.
disastrous. And like, Newshire, what a great ult usage out of one up. I love that, being able to use that and taking that map control there. But again, it is still a 2v2. Anything can happen here. Jesuit finds one, and then it's just one up. Spike planted, and he still has this util of his.
Oh, location pings,
Zare
that's tough.
on. Oh, the
Not
doesn't
gonna be
quite
enough.
go through. Zare diffusing it. Gets the ult off that diffuse. That's gotta be. It's a big ult. Fatal is super valuable, especially in that retake of the A site and that C site. It can like shut down so much.
Yeah, Zari's been using utility so well. As long as Zari's getting down to the end of rounds, they, despite not making like crazy frags, like middle of the scoreboard right there, still keeping positive. They're leveraging so much for the rest of the team, giving that allowing plays to be made by Chase and especially Chase and also Koi throughout these rounds. Kenny kind of taking a back seat through here. The hero of first map is settling in, playing a little more of a support role on this one.
All right, here we have Nutria. Doesn't have a full buy. It's a pretty low buy. Not great, but like very confident going into the C site. Looking like they have a lot of control. But as you can see, Jesuit wanting to play a lot more passive. They have a lot of great ults for this retake here. That Breach Rolling Thunder, that Fade ult. Just a lot of things that they can make happen. I'm not entirely sure if they've used any smokes too, so like, I mean, they can smoke off this site. That Breach Rolling Thunder used, that smoke down. This is going to be pretty rough here for Nutria. Again, you can see this Fatal going in. They can't hear. I mean, in Koi. But they're being able to defuse.
Nutria on a fully remote hold of
And
this
just
bomb.
Zare
Red's
defuses.
going in. Yeah, you just allowed Chase to stand there, keeping pressure on defuse. Zare getting a kill there in consolation at the end of the round as well. A round that I think Nutria had no business losing once they got that super early objective presence, but all 5 players, it seemed like they didn't know what to do with the fact that they just owned the site. Jesuit fully backed off. They said, oh, hands off on this one. Like, if you're coming at me with a flying jet, it's just not worth it to contest that. Don't peek him. Just let him do his thing for a second. We'll come back in a second. And they did. Really wise plays from Jesuit, huge defensively playing. But Nutria, they didn't know what to do with the fact that they just had a free point to themselves. Everyone backing off on long, and that's not where they have the advantage. It's not where they had any ability to leverage off of the bomb either, because everyone's fighting for their lives, trying to find these peaks. You can be keeping smoke on the off of the diffuser. You
Chase
can be pre-firing
finding
those.
2 kills. I mean, Jesuit just shutting down this A take. Jetstream might be able to change that though. 70 HP to his name. He's got a Phantom. What can he make happen?
Uh-oh. Just inching out of that Sova ult, but Turtle's waiting for him on the other side.
Couldn't unfortunately make anything happen, and here we have Jesuit, map point. I mean, map point, series point.
Yes, series point. Yeah, so this is where the pressure finally really hits. Despite everything that they did in map 1, Nutria has been pulling themselves up from their lost point, their low point really being second map. And with this one being just a slugfest, going rounds back and forth. Jesuit here finally putting a couple rounds back to back, puts so much threat on. Full economy for both teams. A couple ults online as well. There's no reason not to be dropping these. Nutria probably has to make sure to leverage this Killjoy ult more than anything else, because they should just be able to bank this for one round and keep the fight going on.
Just Chase finding a massive kill, just pushing out of C, I think that was. And then Zari finding another one from A short.
Oh, it's starting to fall
But the
apart.
other three are on A, planting the spike here. Reds finding Zari. That's a pretty big kill. Yeah, Killjoy going down, but Turtle finding a massive timing.
Who's swinging the corner there? Reds finds
Again?
the kill on Turtle. Just one, or
Reds.
just two players in the 2v2 now. One just around the corner on the box. Reds gets it. Chase
Reds
gets the refrag.
Chase, the two massive jets just dueling it out there at the end, but
A fitting end to the match.
Chase just ends it. That's a Jesuit win. Jesuit moves on to playoffs tomorrow.